Thad, welcome to Toronto. How exciting is it for you to kind of get traded to a team that's obviously looking to make playoffs once it makes a noise?
I'm very excited. For the simple fact of, this is a team that plays with a lot of energy. I've been a guy over the course of my career that's played with a lot of energy, a lot of passion in the game, and they're doing the same thing. When I looked at how the roster was constructed, I was like, man, like it's a whole bunch of tall, long, athletic guys. Like I'm with this. But the good thing is, I think it's a good mix between some veteran leadership and young guys. You have guys who've won a championship, and then you have, a guy like me who's played, 15 years in the league and, continuing to, go out there and, help guys. The one thing I've been entrusted to do is, to come and lead. And, I was just telling, somebody just then, my first week, I want to just kind of obviously play, but I want to evaluate the guys and, see how I can, help lead and help, be able to go to those guys and talk to them and, and not step on any toes, because, we all have to be on one accord to win basketball games, which is, the biggest thing, going out there and working and winning. That's the motto I kind of live by. And, that's the model that, coaches live by. And, that's the model that this organization has lived by. So, I think it's a perfect fit.
What do you do to not step on toes? How do you sit back and sort of evaluate? You see how they interact or how they interact with each other or with you? How does that process unfold?
Yeah, you just learn how to kind of interact with the guys through how they interact with the coaches or how they take constructive criticism during games and stuff like that when they're coming to the bench and, you're seeing how they react to coming out of the games. It gives me an opportunity to really evaluate and see how I can approach guys and be able to not kind of make them mad or not step on their toes or not come off as a know-it-all and stuff like that. You want to be a great teammate. I think and I think I've done that over the course of my career. The one thing about me, anybody who's played with me or anybody on any teams I've played with, they'll say that the value that I bring. Obviously I can play basketball, but I bring a significant amount of value from the leadership side and being able to communicate with my guys and uplifting them, even when they're in down times.
Where did you get that?
Say that again?
Where did you get that? How did that evolve in your personality?
I think when I started playing for Doug Collins, the one biggest thing, he always wanted me to kind of be vocal, and he always wanted me to kind of speak out, and because he knew that I had a passion for not just winning, but making sure that my teammates were good, caring for others and being unselfish. And, that's what I've continued to do. Just try to be unselfish, try to, make sure that I'm making winning basketball plays as opposed to, individual basketball plays. Everything is for the team, and that's all I've been about, just the team focus.
You've been traded before mid-season, but it's been a little while. Mm-hmm. What was it like the last couple of days? Where were you when you heard the news, and how has this process been for you?
It's been a smooth transition. I think the only thing that was crazy was crossing the border.
Yeah.
But I was in Atlanta. I got the call from Pop, and he told me that it's done. We're trading to Toronto, and I told him, I said thank you, and thank you, for the time that I was able to kind of spend with him and the team. During this process, I learned a lot about myself because this was the first time in my career that I wasn't really playing as much, and so I had to kind of figure out how to continue to stay in shape, how to continue to do certain things and fight through adversity. And I think it's made me into a stronger player and a stronger person, But it also taught me a lot about what I can kind of survive through, through these tough times.
Both Bobby and Masai kind of alluded to the fact that you've been on the radar the last couple of years and they wanted you here. Kind of what does that say to you in the confidence they haven't wanted you here and the conversation you had with them?
It says a lot. It says a lot. To me as a player, but I'm very happy and ecstatic that they wanted me here, and they've been kind of had me on the radar for quite a while. So it's really good to be wanted. But it'll be even better if we can continue, where we were kind of leaving off, and that's winning basketball games. You know, for them to, you know, kind of just jump above everybody and say, hey, like, we're going to make this trade. We're trying to get this done ASAP. You know, that's huge for me. But, you know, I think we all have the same focus, and that's, you know, to come in, put in work every day, and, you know, get the results out of it, which is winning basketball games.
You mentioned you get out of the go for it.
You had a relationship with OG Anunoby, I believe, through the AAU.
Say that again?
You and OG Anunoby are acquainted?
Yeah.
Could you walk us through that process? How you get to know?
So
Can you get him to open up?
this is the part that makes me feel old. OG played for my AAU team. We actually had another player who played for Toronto as well. He's in SAC right now, and that's Terrence Davis. They both were teammates on my AAU program, Team Thad. That's a EYBL program. And I think we got OG when he was 16 years old. And the first time I seen him, I was like, this kid's going to be a pro. Just because his physical attributes and the things that he can do. But, yeah, OG is a great kid. You know, he's always listening. Sometimes he overanalyzes a little bit. But he's a great kid, continuous work, continue to get better. He's always coming back and talking to some of the other kids that we have within the program. You know, and, you know, we built a bond and a brotherhood, you know, throughout the course of his career and throughout the course of my career. So, you know, I'm very happy to see he's continued to excel, and I'm very happy to be able to play with him because, you know, we already have, you know, that connection.
Where was the team based?
It's based out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Throughout your career with that, are there any moments related to the Raptors that stand out? Any games against them or any games in this building in particular?
I mean, I'm quite familiar with this building, and quite familiar with the Raptors. Obviously, because like playing, you know, in Brooklyn and playing with the Sixers, you know, those were divisional games. So, you know, used to seeing these guys and used to seeing this organization a lot. But I wouldn't say there's any like standout games or anything like that. You know, I played so long, they all kind of start running together after a second.
I was going to say, I'm making you feel old too. I
Yeah.
think, you know, your career high came here?
Oh, that's crazy.
2010.
That's crazy. No, I did not. I don't pay attention to things like that, like career highs and all that. Honestly, biggest thing I pay attention to is wins and losses. You know, at the end of the day, are we winning basketball games? You know, are we losing basketball games? And if we are losing, how can we win basketball games?
You mentioned that you were, you know, spending time trying to stay in shape and getting ready for a moment like this.
Yeah.
What was that like? What were you doing, and how ready do you feel to take the court?
It's been pretty crazy. For being in San Antonio and you're not in the rotation and stuff like that, I had to kind of like create my own little plan, which is continuous like working out. So I had to like really take myself into like try to get myself into like summer mode, where you're not playing games, but you're training to get ready for a season. So that's how I had to kind of like refocus myself when I figured out that I wasn't going to be in the rotation, I wasn't in the lineup. So what I was doing was like just after shoot around working out, before shoot around working out, coming in on off days, still like playing 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5 with the coaches and video staff and stuff like that. Running suicides by myself, going after games and running on the treadmill at 12 miles per hour and then mixing in a lift with that and then just staying like an hour or two after the game. Just trying to put in lots of work to, be ready for a full basketball game, because obviously like, doing all those things, it still kind of doesn't help you with basketball shape, but it keeps you kind of in rhythm a little bit, when you're getting out there. So just doing a lot of different stuff, just trying to make sure I stay in shape, because I think I've only played in like 3 games since the beginning of the year, which is I think is crazy, but that's what happened. So, but we're here today, and I'm ready to go, and I'm thankful that I'm super healthy.
You mentioned how the team style and the roster makeup sort of match what you've done throughout your career. How curious? I mean, there was the one game that the Spurs played the Raptors, but how curious are you to see and take part in that? And like, what does it make you think when like there are no 7-footers coming in behind you. Like, you might have to grab Jokic for 5 seconds.
I mean, well, like that's something I've done in the past too. Like with Chicago, I had to guard Jokic, so and that was before we got Vooch, so because he had everybody else in foul trouble. But no, I don't mind guarding anybody on the court. You know, I've been versatile over the course of my career, being able to guard a lot of different guys. I think that's one of the reasons why I've been able to kind of stick around. You know, for my capabilities on the defensive end, you know, obviously, like, you know, I can go out there and score 12 points or 10 points or whatever, but defensively, I can be a problem because I can switch on to a lot of different guys. So I'm very interested to see how, you know, this goes and how, like, you know, having so many kind of similar guys, we can all kind of switch and create havoc because we all like super long, athletic guys. You know, so I'm very interested to see how it goes, but I'm very, very happy to be here as well.
And
Last couple of questions.
was OG excited that you were coming? And for
It was
those
the
of
first
us,
text.
those of us who have never seen it, what is it like when OG's excited?
Well, he was the first text, but I don't think he was like super excited. Because I've probably only seen OG smile like 3 times since we've known each other.
Was it more than a text, more than 2 words?
No, actually.
There you go.
Yeah, wow. Now that you mention it, no, it was only 2 words. I'm going to talk to him about that.
Anybody else?
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your interests outside of basketball, some of your hobbies right now?
Well, the one thing when I wasn't playing, it gave me a chance to kind of like focus on a lot of different stuff outside of basketball. Some of the business stuff that I have going on, I have a venture firm, a trucking company, and some other stuff. So it gave me a chance to like really focus on that type of stuff. Another thing it gave me a chance to do was spend a lot of time with my sons and evaluate my sons because they're both Taylor's 8 and TJ's 11. And they both play basketball. They were playing for Pro Skills in San Antonio, so it gave me a chance to go to games and stuff because I didn't have to rest as much and all this other stuff. So just going to games, I got a chance to evaluate my sons and see how they can actually, what they can actually do and what I actually need to work on with them this summer. Because this will be like the first summer that I'm actually going to be in the gym with them and actually having them train with me and see how like an NBA basketball player actually trains. So it gave me an opportunity to really learn a lot about their personalities and how they kind of interact with each other on the court and stuff like that.